Morbid!
Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd. Hello all my little noodle drips and needle drops. I'm doing an album review today, and this certainly won't be the first time I tackle an album with some controversy surrounding it. Morbid Angel's latest release, Illud Divinum Insanus, is divisive, to say the least. Some people love it, some people hate it, and if you're in either category, you might want to hit the road, because this is a place for open-minded people who just want to hear some new sounds and get some new experiences. Still here? Good. Dive in. Stay a while. Water is fine. Morbid Angel have been hanging around the scene a while, and for a good chunk of their career, they've been floundering a little bit, and I think this was because they were confined by the death metal genre, as originally defined by pioneers such as Cannibal Corpse, Obituary, Deicide. On their latest release, they've stopped trying to outshred those guys, and I think we all know their competition is worse than ever. And now they're letting go of these boundaries. They're free to grab influences like The Berserker, White Zombie, Cat Rapes Dog, Samuel, all the way to the body count homage heard loud and clear on the chorus of Radicult. Morbid Angel even sounds downright funky in parts of this album. And I think that this reinvention of Morbid Angel is where a lot of the backlash is rooted. People have been thinking, this isn't allowed in death metal, or these sounds are different and therefore bad. Why get hung up on the rules and genre boundaries and limits? Shouldn't extreme music be all about questioning these constraints? So, all these influences are mashed up in a metal mixing pot that is strangely appropriate for an era where we're up to our ears in technology, yet we're still hairless apes. The processed, overproduced guitars and the Cyberdyne brand drums smash headlong into this positively feral vocal lyrical delivery, ultimately facilitating a juxtaposition that ineffably recapitulates our contemporaneous ontological zeitgeist of reification. And regarding this drum sound, there are some bold choices here. If anyone's like me and has been patiently waiting over an excruciating decade for that heart-stopping double bass from Vader's Litany to make a return, you will be very happy with this album. Admittedly, it's not present on every track, but that's okay. And this sort of diversation is what keeps this album fresh throughout its hour-long duration. For this album, I understand that the band fired longtime drummer Pete Sandoval, which is probably the best move of their career. His style was passable and terrorizer, but that slip, sloppy, grindcore groove just doesn't work in their new, technical yet raw, reinvented style. So it really was a wise move to lose Peter and hire Timmy Ung, who is literally a machine. I mean, most of the time you won't be able to tell if you're hearing a human being or a programmed track. He is so, literally lockstep with the click track. Many of you probably know that Timmy cut his teeth in the legendary metalcore outfit, All That Remains, and those roots are rolled out in all their retro glory on this record. Let's get into the music. The album opens with an intro. Some modern metal acts will typically throw on a symphonic intro as a lazy way to introduce some dynamics and mix things up. Not so here. This intro piece serves as a bona fide aria for the operatic revolution of extremity that's about to envelop you. It's a standard procedure to follow this sort of opening with a blast of aggression, but even DM vet like me had no idea what was in store. The album that follows delivers. And while I'm on the topic, I really want to give these guys a kudo or 5 for finally following through on the hype they built around themselves. Back in the day, it felt like you couldn't even go to a Converge show without seeing that one extremely large white trash guy wearing an extremely large t-shirt with extremely large 7 kajillion point font on it reading "Extreme music for extreme people." Morbid Angel have been taunting us with this claim for years, but this is the record that finally delivers on that promise. We've got a standout track I Am Morbid, where the opening chant is an ode to crowd participation. And I do feel like this is the sort of things that put asses in seats, which frankly ain't a dumb move considering the current state of the music industry. TBQH, the first time I heard this song, it sent me into a flashback to being a scrawny 13-year-old whose only dream in life was to put on 200 pounds and claim my throne as pit boss. And those same vibes permeate songs like Too Extreme and Radicult. They just make you feel invincible, like you can take on anything that comes your way. One thing I bet nobody saw coming was the epic Lord of the Rings scale massive storytelling going on here. This is a throwback to Iron Maiden's best stuff, and it really does click on this album. Neil's tried it with limited success, but here Morbid Angel claims the world, nay, galactic championship belt. And the lyrical journeys I was taken on are beyond compare. I mean, after the world-crushing conclusion of Destructos versus the Earth, I was tempted to turn on the radio and see if Orson Welles was trolling us from beyond the grave. There's more of this superlative narrative on display on Beauty Meets Beast, which is a track you can be sure is more grim than Disney. Even the more standard metal fare, like 10 More Dead, is crafted so convincingly that I get chills up each and every one of my vertebrae every time I hear the track. The closing track is Pro Fundus Mea Culpa. If you've studied Latin, you know mea culpa means my bad. And here, the band is sending out a tongue-in-cheek, postmodernistical middle finger to all the closed-minded jokers they knew wouldn't dig this album. This is an apology, but it ain't sincere. They knew there'd be a few MA fans out there who, perhaps unsurprisingly, couldn't keep up with the creative pace the band lays out on this record. And this is their preemptive response to those individuals. If I have to pick a nit, and you know how I do, it'd have to be with the roach tracks that we've essentially heard from these guys 1,000 times before. Cuts like Existo Falcare, Nevermore, and Blades for Bow are really a dime a dozen if you're familiar with the band's back catalog. I know they meant well and wanted to work in some varietizing with these songs, but they're really retreading old paths here, and the album would be stronger without these songs. All said and done, I'm really proud of what these guys have accomplished here with a band that is essentially, according to Wikipedia, just a Genitorture side project. This is an album I'm going to be listening to for many moons to come, and without a doubt, it's the metal record of the year for me so far. Overall, I'm feeling a decent to solid 8 on this one. Let me know what you think about this record. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Why? And what should I review next? Leave a comment below, and thank you for listening. Anthony Fantano, The Needle Drop, Illud Divinum Insanus, forever.